Hello, I hope everybody's doing good tonight. We are still on the road. Of course, we will be on the road probably for the next 20, 25 years, hopefully. Uh,
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Nina's got an echo in my ear over here. Turn your voice all the way down.
Go no further.
There. Sure?
Yeah. Look. That's up.
No.
That's as far down as it'll go.
Huh. Need to turn on mute. Um, Hope everybody's doing good tonight. I'm trying to get Dina over here. But we're so close together. We're getting
Okay.
echo.
I'm not gonna be on the show. I'm just gonna read, okay?
Not gonna be on the show.
Well, you can turn a little bit like this, but I
Yeah,
can't do
I can do this. We can sit and okay.
hold on.
Hold on just a minute.
Leave. Not you.
What?
Okay, I left.
Okay. Well, anyway, tonight we got a little bit different of a show tonight. I had after reading and watching some YouTubers, I had to ask that question. Are we really helping? What we do, are we really helping? And some of us are and some of us aren't. And I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to tell you the problems that a lot of the YouTubers are doing that is causing issues. And, I'll probably get some stink over it, but I felt like I needed to say what I want to say. Um, I did a lot of reading and studying up on Sophie Long. This was. I felt like I needed to say what I want to say. Hold on just a minute. Okay. Sophie Long, if you're not familiar with her, she is a little girl, 5 years old, I think. No, I'm thinking about Summer West. Anyway, she's a young girl, juvenile. Then her daddy and her mother are either just got divorced or in a major custody issue. I think they've been divorced because her mother is dating a guy or has a boyfriend, and the father has custody of the child right now. But I think he has partial custody the way it is. Well, it came up where he published a film that she was crying that she did not want to go back to her mother's house, did not want to go back to her boy because the father has made some accusations, whether they're true or not, that there might have been some abuse by the mother's boyfriend. Now, I don't know, but I know this. If that is true, then somebody needs to go to jail and need to go to jail forever, in my opinion. However, we have seen in the past hundreds of times of accusations being made that no evidence is there, and it's because they're trying to get full custody of the child or try to get custody of the child. And I think there's a bunch of YouTubers out there that are automatically got this guy judged guilty and hung just because of some accusations made out there. And I just don't think that we're in a position to start making a bunch of accusations against somebody that the police have not judged guilty. And this is the same thing that we ran into with the Barry Morphew case. Even though every one of us, even though I thought from the beginning that he was guilty, I never came out and said he was guilty because it would have been easy for me to come out and say, oh, he's guilty. We need to go, something needs to happen. But that is not the way the law is written in America. So we've got to, it'd be it's very easy for somebody to make that accusation that you're involved in some type of sexual relationship with a child without proof. And that is so damaging if it turns out to be not true. And so, and before I come out and say, because there's all kinds of YouTube channels, we failed this. Here's the titles: we failed Sophie Long. We failed her, and this is what's happened. And this is absolutely true. And and just you can see by this child's acting this way. We don't know what's going on here, people. We don't know, and we can't make, as YouTubers or creators, we can't make accusations like that without proof. I'm not going to make them. I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm just saying I don't know if he is or not, and I'm not going to sit here, not even hearing the girl cry that she does not want to go back to her mother's house, because until they get police involved and they get some evidence, that's just, I don't see that happening. And that's what bothers me about those situations. Now, supposedly, she's missing with her father. He was supposed to have dropped her off for custody. Uh, with her mother has partial custody. I think, like they do weekends or whatever, and that it didn't happen. So supposedly, I heard one YouTuber played a live chat with uh, the police department saying that yes, but they're not releasing any details. Now, here it came off YouTube channel. I'm going to show you this, and we'll read this here. Set update. The Sequin Police Department in Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office has confirmed a missing persons report has been filed today, 7/12. I don't know any additional information at this time. It says, I don't know the details. I'm unsure what is true and what's not true. At least this one is being honest in that case. Um, Reported that Sophie Long's whereabouts are currently unknown and that she is missing. Allegedly, her father, Michael Long, was expected to bring her to a family member on Wednesday, and he never arrived. It is unclear if he's on the run with Sophie or if he's refusing to turn her over until he files a new motion with the court, a delay tactic that seems to be a pattern of his. Now, I'm telling you, listen, this is a gigantic domestic relations debacle, and I don't know if anything is wrong or if he's refused to bring the child in for whatever reason, or if he's acting under the guidance and recommendations of a lawyer, or if it is a court order that he does something. But people are jumping on this bandwagon, and they're they're going against him. They're going against the boyfriend. But this is a thing missing, and you know what? Maybe this girl just needs to be taken into custody by the state and away from both parents until they find out what what's going on. 10 years old. But I just think it's real easy to get bogged down in a civil dispute of he said, she said, and just because the girl is crying about not wanting to go back with mama, you don't know what the reason is. What?
Boomer says there was never any evidence found of any abuse directed at Sophie from her mother's boyfriend. Sophie's father, however, is seriously unstable. How do we know he's seriously unstable?
Yeah, and plus, um, I've heard the boyfriend's unstable. I've heard he's unstable. I've heard the mother's unstable. Until the police get involved and they put some people in protected custody, like it sounds like to me, the girl needs to go to protective custody by the state. Needs to take her into custody until they find out if the mother is unstable, the father's unstable, to find out the deal is. We just got to do. She needs to be taken into protective custody for her safety, and that's just. And getting back to it, that is my opinion. And you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a retired cop, but I'm just expressing my opinion. I think too many people out here on the web and YouTubers are saying, "Oh, we gotta, you know, these people, the boyfriend needs to go to prison forever, and the father now has ran off with this girl, and the mother is this and that." I mean, it's just, you know, it's a gigantic domestic dispute. To me, it's a gigantic civil matter. Sure, we don't want anything bad to happen to the little girl, 10 years old. That's why I would say is the best thing what I can see in this matter now is to have her taken into custody by the Department of Youth Services within the state. And, you know, I hate to take a child away from their parent, either one of them, but both these parents got something wrong with the situation. They're attacking each other. They're one apparently she was supposed to be taken to her relatives, and we don't know if that was ordered by court or not. But supposedly he didn't show up. So just for the safety of the girl, let's go ahead and have her taken into custody by the state, held until they can hash all this stuff out with the courts. That's my opinion on this matter.
Okay. Sophie and her dad said there were many men in the hotel room assaulting her, but there was no one on the hotel camera. That's when I knew something was wrong, says Helen. Boomer says, I'll tell you how. This dude has said he's going to use some kind of magic to use against his ex-wife. But I do agree this little girl needs to be in a neutral place away from them both, and it's going to take her a lot of therapy to have any kind of relationship with her mother now. Now, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
You are talking about taking a child away from her biological mom and dad, and putting her into foster care, right? And we know about foster care.
Right, but we do not know if the mother is mentally stable.
Okay.
We don't know if the father's mentally stable. So, and both of them are making accusations against the other. So, before you do that, and not every foster care and not every place in the United States is a bad place for them.
Okay.
I'm just simply saying it's because my uncle was a judge 35 years over the juvenile system in a particular county, and I've been to those places and seen how they live in those places professionally when I was in law enforcement, and even going through my uncle's intervention. And I'm just saying that yes, taking them away from their parents in this situation would probably be the best thing for her.
Okay, you didn't let me finish. What I was going to say was, instead of putting her in a foster care, if there is a grandparent or an aunt, someone like that that could take her in, that they can show is very stable.
No, because I'll tell you why. Because the grandparent the father's going to have a relative that is never going to be against the father, or mother's going to have a relative that's never going to be against the mother. You need a neutral party that's going to sit there and say, we have information, or this is how she's acting, but let's get a neutral party. Say they put them in a foster home for 5 days to get the people mentally evaluated to see if they're able to take care of a child, period.
Okay. Boomer says, well, also the mother still has custody of her other children.
But why does she not have custody of the girl?
I thought she did have custody. The dad just had visiting rights.
I don't think so.
That's
not what I've read. I've read that the father actually had custody. I don't know. I've read 15 different things if they did or they didn't. The idea with me is, let's take the child away from both parents until we get this stuff straightened out, because a lot of times their parents will disappear with them. They'll run, they'll get into a situation, they go to another county, another country for that matter, you know. But anyway, I believe that it's not going to get solved on the internet, and sure not going to be solved by YouTubers. And that's why I have decided not, other than tonight, I'm not going to report on this case. It had, it hit, there's a girl that runs a YouTube channel that has a lot more subscribers than I do, many, many thousand more than I do. And she has reported on this case, and I'm just refusing to. This tonight is it for me because it is a gigantic, to me, domestic case that is not doing anything but hurting the kids. That's it. They're not, I mean, these families, now I'm going to tell you, if there's child abuse involved, hey, man, I'm all for it, man. Put them under the jail, as they say. Let them do life without parole. I don't think that there's no excuse for that, none. But if it's somebody saying that there's child abuse involved and it's really not happening, then if they prove that, that person should do 10 years or more in prison, in my opinion. You can't make up stuff and ruin people's lives. And I don't know if that is the case in this thing, but I feel like a lot of people out there on the internet are putting a lot of stuff out there that may not be true, and it's going to end up coming back to bite them. And I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to report on this case anymore. Tonight is it for me, because I felt like that I just needed to say it. You can't go out here and say things that you don't know is correct or not. You can't do it. I'm not going to do it. You're going to get sued for slander, libel, or you're going to get people hurt over. The fact is that I just don't believe you ought to do it. Now, we stayed on the Barry Morphew case because we felt like okay, I don't know. I don't know what the problem was there. That was weird. I think my internet in the RV here was the problem. I hope you're back with me. But anyway, I just don't think that this is a case that people ought to be reporting on until that, because in the end, it's going to hurt the child by information could be out there, falsely said out there, that doesn't need to be out there. Okay, well, let's cover a few other things. The Summer Wells case, I checked on it before I went in. That case is still, the sheriff's department is saying that they have received up to 950 tips and that they are working diligently on them. They are complaining because it's running into 3,000 man hours. Hold on one second here. From where I fell the other day, ladies and gentlemen, I am still sore as a rising, and I've got a heat pad on my shoulder. But 3,000 man hours is what the police department has racked up, and for a small sheriff's department, that is huge. That is really huge. I don't know what those guys get paid. I imagine they're paid between $15 and $20 an hour, and if they're overtime, they're doing $30 to $45 an hour probably. So, you can see right there where there would be a problem. They did put out this picture. That is a lot of different pictures of her. If anybody has seen her, um, they have also continually said that everybody's a suspect and nobody's been ruled out until she's found. So that has kind of left that open, and we are going to still follow this case. I personally believe in this case that they will. Uh, I believe they'll make arrests in this case. Uh, I don't think that that this will be one of those cases that will continue to be unsolved, and we will continue to follow this case until we hear something positive. If an arrest has been made and who that person is that they arrested. Okay, we're going to cover a few more missing people, and I hated to go on this kind of rant earlier about this this girl, but I'm telling you, and I'll say this, and I won't talk about it anymore. Is I have seen people's lives ruined by false accusations against them to make them accuse them of something that they didn't do, involved in a sexual abuse case, and they turned up that maybe the one that I'm thinking of, the girl actually was a juvenile, and she just came out and said she made the whole thing up after it cost somebody their whole career and their it liked to cost a marriage, and it liked to put them in jail for 20 years. So, but it did cost them their whole career, in their professional career. So, for somebody to come back and say they just made it up, so you never can tell.
There was that one that we know whose friend's husband was a cop in a small town, and his 15-year-old daughter could not date the boy she wanted to, so she told the teachers that she had been sexually molested by her father, and he spent 10 years in jail.
10 years in penitentiary before she recanted and said she just made it up.
Yep.
So that's why it's big time that false accusations be investigated, and if the person is found to be not telling the truth, that punishment should be dealt out. In this case, if the girl has not told the truth, then whoever may have influenced her should be punished, if there is one. Okay, we're going to discuss a few missing people. Now, I don't know why I got all this stuff at the top that I can't read that. Is that, once it comes up, maybe you can read the name and it'll come over here. There
Investigators search for a woman, Regina Barshazi, last seen on Wheeler Road.
And it says here, this is Augusta, Richmond Police, that I'm thinking it is Virginia, searched the area for this young lady, 25 years old, last seen on Wheeler Road on July the 3rd of 2021, has been diagnosed with severe mental conditions. It is unknown what clothing she was wearing. She is possibly working at an unknown bar on Broad Street, and look like they would be able to figure that up. But contact the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, contact them if anybody was to see her. This one was the hiker that was missing, and I apologize. I was not able to look him up and see if they found him or not. We had just walked in the door a few minutes ago from going to Mackinac Island, and that will be in our 1 million mile road trip videos, in the upcoming videos on our other channel. We had a great time today. An extensive search is underway Sunday in the Pleasanton Ridge Regional Park where authorities are looking for a man who didn't return from a run Saturday in the hills. Philip Kreskick, 37, uh, parked his car near the Moeller Ranch staging area at 11 a.m. and told his wife that he was going for a hour long run in the East Bay Regional Park in Pleasanton. Police said his wife reported him missing at 2 p.m. Saturday. An avid runner with no known health conditions, is described as white male with thin build and brown hair and eyes. He's presumed to be wearing running attire. He is an avid distant runner with no known health conditions, police said. Police officers and personnel from East Bay Regional Park Police, and the county sheriff's department and California Highway Patrol are using drones, fixed wing aircraft, and vehicles to search teams, rescue teams to search the area. So there is no telling. I mean, he could have been running and got hit by a vehicle, knocked off a cliff, and
Is
who
he
knows?
the one that
But
was running in 3-digit temperatures?
yeah, I think so. I think
That's
he was
crazy.
the one. I think it was like over 100 degrees when he was running too, which would make it, even without health.
In an hour long
Um,
run?
yeah, even without known health conditions, he could have had a heat stroke or anything. So if you check and if he has been found, if somebody could let us know, we'd appreciate it. This is a girl too that turned up. She had turned up missing. Um, you want to read that because I can't see what I got there going.
Okay. I'm having a. I can't increase it. Whoops, there it went away. Indiana mother missing for weeks, last known to be in Kalamazoo. Wait a minute, let me go to my pictures because that's where I saved that. Okay, hold on. Nope, I was on your iPad. This is the mother who dropped her children off.
She's an Indiana mother of two that has been missing since the end of June. Last known to be in Kalamazoo, Michigan. An Indiana woman has not been seen since the morning of Wednesday, June the 30th, 2021. 29-year-old dropped off her young son off at her parents' home. Let me get out of this banner and I'll tell you what they said. Parents' home in Clarksville, Indiana. So dropped her son off and left apparently to do some running around, and I'm talking maybe shopping or doing other stuff, and she never has returned. So obviously she has met foul play. They don't believe that she would leave on her own. These are a couple that are from older cases that I wanted to bring up because you know what? Just the newer cases are not still what we need to be looking for. We need to be looking for all of them. April 28th, last seen, 2012. On the April the 26th, 2012, Stevie was returning from a cross-country trip, traveling alone by Greyhound bus to New York City from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Said I spoke with her last at 7:52 p.m. on 427, 2012, while she was on a layover stop in PA. I was able to view surveillance cameras at New York Port Authority, the Greyhound bus at 8:51 on 4/28 of 12. When I last spoke with her on 4/27, she told me that when she arrived in New York City, she would stop in at Brooklyn to meet a friend, and then she would come home. I have not heard from her or seen her since. None of her friends have seen her. She was had no activity on Facebook since April 26th. The friends she was to meet up with hasn't seen her since before she left New York April the 19th to begin her travels. She has no activity on her card since April the 26th. Stevie never goes without calling me. She has a very distinct look of shoulder length hair and is dyed blonde and in dreadlocks. Stevie Bates. You know, that's one of these things. You could have met somebody. They could have said, hey, let's go have coffee, whatever.
Well, it could be.
And she's African American, 19 years of age when she's missing. She's 66 inches tall, 115.
It could be the case. You see it all the time on the news and everything else, where somebody she gets off the bus,
Bus.
gets off the airplane or the bus or out of a taxi, and some good-looking guy walks up and says, "Hey." They could say anything. You remind me of someone. Or is your name such and such? Well, you look. Start a conversation and say, "Hey, do
And
you have time for
then,
a cup of coffee?" She's 19 years old. If she's not in a relationship,
yeah, or you, or am I supposed to pick you up for that modeling job?
yeah.
Anything like that. This is another one that's missing since 1998. Um, and this is weird because her car and everything is missing. And as far as you know, they've never found her vehicle or anything else. This might be something for Adventures with a Purpose or something to look into. Said circumstances she was seen leaving her residence in a 1994 dark green Subaru a lawyer wagon. Her first name is Marilyn. I guess that is Marilyn McMint. Maryellen. Last name McMillin. Macmillan. She's 37 years old. Last known when she says last known alive at 37. White female, 65 inches tall, 150 pounds, from Fairbanks, Alaska. County is Fairbanks North Star. Brown hair, hazel eyes, blue jean jacket with name and logo Sports Medicine Clinic on it. The Subaru Loyal wagon, 1994, dark green, tag Charlie Sierra Yankee 207, Alaska. Never been found. That's crazy. Usually find a car. This is 1995, March the 14th. Kissinger disappeared post from her post at the Treasure Island Naval Base in San Francisco on March the 14th, 1995. She spoke to her superior on March 15th, but has not been heard from since. It's Maria M. Kissinger, 38 years old, white female, 68 inches tall, 129 pounds. So that make her 5 foot. What would that be? 5 foot. What? 5'8". City of San Francisco, California. Brown hair, brown eyes. 3-inch scar right side of abdomen. So that would be a appendicitis, I guess. Hadn't been seen since from a base. That's very strange. This girl is February 14th, 2003. Unknown circumstances are unknown. Brandy, I guess it is.
Brandy, yeah.
Brandy was last seen at a residence in the vicinity of 460 block of Keene Road, Portland, Tennessee. Brandy Jan Thomerson, 42 years old, white, female, 65 inches tall, 145 pounds. She's from Portland, Tennessee, in Summer County. Brown hair, brown hair, blue eyes, a mole behind her left ear, stretch marks from bearing children, pierced ears. She has no unknown circumstances. She disappeared since 2003. This girl here, they have an age progression, possibly age progression. May the 23rd, 2010. Last seen Sunday, May 23rd, 2010. It is thought that Beth was going to the Amtrak train station in central Illinois for a 6 p.m. train. Neither Amtrak nor passenger that were interviewed could place Beth on the train. Our search is concentrating on the last known whereabouts is Mount Vernon and Central. She did not arrive home as expected, and a missing person seize report was filed by her husband on Monday, May 24th, with Woodstock police search areas concentrated includes Mount Vernon and Central. She's Bernadette Lee Bentley, 41 years old, white female, 66 inches tall, 165 pounds. And this is in Central Illinois. This is in 2010. And you know, the weird thing about all these is they just don't know nothing. And I can't imagine going to, especially some of these people, I can't imagine having a daughter or a sister or a wife that has just disappeared in thin air, never be seen again, with nothing out there to be seen again. This girl here, per law enforcement, 2012, September 4th, per law enforcement, Jamie Lee ran away from her house and may be staying with friends throughout the Tampa Bay area, including Newport. Well, this is since 2012. Port Richey, Spring Hill, St. Petersburg, or Tampa. Jamie has been involved in high-risk behavior. Jamie has not been in contact with her immediate family since 2012. Jamie Lee, and it's Cornisha Lee. When this picture was taken, she's 15 years old, African American, 64 inches tall, 115 pounds. So she has not been heard from, and she's had risky behavior, which I would imagine with probably drugs or running around with older guys. This one is an Asian male, and this was November 26, 2010. Based on our home phone call log, he called a taxi company at 5:49 on 11/6/2010. We confirmed with the taxi company that he was picked up and dropped off at High and C in Sacramento Youth Hostel. It's a youth hostel located there in Sacramento, California. Further inquiries of the hostel logging confirmed he had checked in to the place on Friday night, but checked out on checked in 11:26, checked out 11:27 morning, unsure of the time, and hasn't been seen since. His name is Albert Lee, and that's just let's see, he's a Pacific American. He's an Asian Pacific American, 64 inches tall, 120 pounds, 19 years of age. And I know what these hostels are. I know that they do have basically people stay in them for free while traveling, and a lot of times they're nothing more than a big room with about 15 or 20 beds in it, or they're pretty sketchy, you might say. So a lot of people stay in them, have stayed in a lot of these places before. So you just got to be very, very careful. I wouldn't want to stay there alone. It's unsure. He checks out in the morning, so maybe he met somebody there. Um, this has happened from 19. What?
I'm telling Maggie.
Okay, May.
There was a dog barking.
October 1984. Pollyanna has prior runaway incidents. She was last seen known to be at a friend's home. She called home, told her family that she was on her way home. She never arrived and has not been heard from since. There were subsequent unverified contacts with her in downtown Tacoma, and her sister related that she was likely involved in prostitution in 1984 to 1985. Pollyanna Jean Carter, she was 15 years old when she disappeared. White female, 65 inches tall, 115 pounds. And you think about this, sandy hair, blue eyes, it could have been anything from one of Ted Bundy's, um, prey, because he was in that area about that time. Um, what I've read, he was all over the Northwest. But, that's very, very sad that disappeared from the 15. Nobody's heard from her. 1984. I mean, you think about that. That's what, 30?
7 years ago.
That's how long?
47 years.
Wow. And this what came out of Alabama as one that I saw, September the 17th, 1973. Christina was last seen on September the 17th, 1973. Her nickname is Christy. Christina Lynn Carter, 3 years old when she disappeared. White female, 38 inches tall, 30 pounds, from Hueytown, Alabama, and Jefferson County. Strawberry blonde hair and blue eyes, and this was an age progression. Now, there's little or no circumstances available on this. It did not say it was a parental abduction or anything. So, very, very sad incident. I mean, 73, that's 27, 37, 47, 48 years. Wow. I would hate to have a family member missing that long. And this is the last one on these are December 2nd, 2011. And these are just one of hundreds that I could have told you about. Sean said that he was going to work, left home, and never showed up for work. Has not been heard from since. Sean Tyler Dickerson was 23 years old in 2011. White male, 70 inches tall, 145 pounds. City is San Francisco, California. And a full head of hair. Sean has been known to have his natural color a very light brown or mostly dyed brown hair. So those are pictures of him there. So just never showed up for work and never heard from him again. Did anybody have any comments?
I have some comments.
Okay.
Tommy and I are staying at a campground in St. Incus,
Michigan.
Ignace, Michigan. And the campground where we are staying is on a they were digging up the
Indian
rock.
burial ground.
Yeah, they were digging up the rock in 1957, which would be 64 years ago. And in digging to get the rock to put make the beds for the RVs to sit on, they unearthed skeletons of Indians. It's an Indian burial ground that has been here since the 1600s.
I'm thinking about ghosts here. I didn't see no ghosts last night,
That's because you made me go outside.
but it could have been. I was out last night, but
Anyway,
it could be anything.
okay, wait a minute though.
Okay, go ahead.
If y'all remember, a couple of weeks ago, we did about the Indian schools, about where the children were taken and how so many of them were killed. Well, when we went into the museum here in St. Incas, I think I'm saying it wrong.
Ignis.
That's right. Saint Ignis. When we went into the museum,
It might be Ignace,
something like that.
but anyway.
It depends on how the UP people pronounce it. Anyway, we walked around the curve, and there is a whole room set up for these children. And it's got a lot of the pictures that I showed y'all. There's those pictures are on the wall. And then there's sayings on the wall where it talks about the children. They wanted to know why they were taken away from their parents. Why did they tell us that being Indian was bad? And after 7 years of hearing it, they said we even began to make fun of our own people, and we didn't care about the traditions of our grandparents or anything. And so anyway, it was very amazing, and you'll get to see it. We got video of. They let us videotape the whole thing. We got video of it, and so you'll get to see that they're bringing attention to it. Now, I'm not sure if there was a school here, but there were schools all over Michigan, there were in 35 states, y'all, so it could be anywhere. And Canada right now is digging up the graves, and Canada got how to take care of the Indians and how to school them from America. So I don't know what's going to happen when we start digging. But it was really interesting that that we saw this just after that. Oh, when they dug up the Indian bones, the skeletons, you know what they did? They put them on display for about 20 years as a tourist attraction.
That's wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, that's to me, it's wrong in so many levels, but it wouldn't be done today. Let's put it that way. I don't think it would. Well, I don't know. I just thought of something that was done recently that I just don't understand. But anyway, they've given the bones back to the Indian tribe, and they have allowed them to bury them on their Indian burial grounds. I was saying that, remember when China sent those human body forms that looked totally real, and they looked real. It was just no skin on the body. Remember, they were going to be touring all over America. It was the human body without skin. And people were saying they were so lifelike, it was, scary.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Remember that? And and some people speculated that they may be real people.
I'm gonna tell you, folks. Like, she just punched me in the arm
I'm
there.
Sorry,
I am still bruised on my arm here, my back muscle, my front lat here, and down on my leg. I have the darkest bruise you've ever seen. I mean, it's about the size of a softball, and it's still swollen. I am still. I'm getting old.
Okay, some of y'all are talking about Christianity coming into areas. What was done to these children in the name of God was wrong. That was not the God that I serve. The God that I serve is the one of love. Jesus loved so much that he came to die for us. That's not the God that these schools were based on.
Yeah.
Christianity is not of hate. True Christianity. If you are Christian, the word Christian came from little Christ. They called us little Christians, little Christ. So anyway, the Catholic Church ran a lot of these schools. So did some other Christian churches, and there's going to be someone to answer for those. They are not representing Jesus. I will promise you that. In no way did they represent the Christ that I love.
I appreciate everybody saying that. Sorry about my pain. Yeah, I'm getting old. What can I say? I don't want to admit I'm old. I'm just saying I'm getting old.
Yeah, Sketty, that's what
Boomer,
I heard.
what you say? Really? Cause they sure hated our ancestors. Who? What ancestors are you talking about? Native American ancestors, or what? Someone else? And I'll tell you this: I think the Indians, the Native Americans that were here, you know, they sure had. They were treated bad. And the United States broke every treaty with them they ever signed. And they're the ones. If anybody needs reparations in this United States, I think there's plenty out there that need them. If you ever see how the Indians live right now in the United States, most of the Indians live on reservations in complete poverty in the United States. You can go in any reservation over across the United States, especially out there around the Grand Canyon and all these reservations. They're in complete poverty.
Well, and not only that, but y'all realize the last school didn't close until 1996, I think it was. I never learned about this in school. And, to walk through that museum the other day and to see it on display for everyone to stop and read that comes to this area. And there's a lot of people that come here. But, Boomer, when I say, there are a lot of people who claim to know Jesus. What was the guy's name that made him drink the Kool-Aid? Jones.
Yeah.
He claimed that he started out preaching Jesus, and then then he came in and said he was the Messiah himself. Yeah, that's not a true Christian. There's a lot of people that claim to be. Let's put it this way. There's a lot of people in church on Sunday mornings that when the rapture happens, they're going to fill up that church again on Sunday morning.
Man, twist anything in his will. God's word is more way man uses to do evil that doesn't make God's word evil. That's correct.
T.S. Jackson, I agree. It's unbelievable that in America that went on for as long as it did. From the 1800s.
Where you been, Mystic?
From the 1800s to 1996. Are you kidding me? Even through integrating the schools, they didn't integrate the Indian children into the schools.
They showed a picture. Of 3 young boys dressed in their Indian attire, and then after they had been to the school, they were forced to wear the coats and ties and short hair. Point is, it's perfectly good. Sacred places are our own. Then Christians moved in, forced people, and so the conversion destroyed us.
Boomer must be an American Indian. I understand, and you know what? As an American Indian child or an indigenous person, I can understand why they would never want to hear about Jesus. They don't want to hear about a God that would allow priests and people to treat the people the way they did. I understand that. But there has to come a point in their life when they realize that they were created for a purpose, for a reason, and that God loves them and He has a plan for them. And this was not part of His plan. But if they will allow Him, He will use it for their good and His glory. That's what Romans 8 tells us, is that if we allow God to use what we've been through, He will use it for His good and for His glory and our good. And I can promise you, some of the things I've been through, I have seen God use it for His glory, and it has been really good.
Mystic, I tell you, I can't. It makes me sick to know how that the Indian people and the Native Americans were treated. And like I said, we're not.
Boomer, there's only one God.
I can't, and we're not getting into religious thought here. I mean, if you want to message us or email us.
Jesus is my Lord and Savior. That's it.
If you want to email us there at the missinglivestream@gmail.com, I'll let Dina, or she's a grown woman, she can email you back and forth or share something on Messenger, and y'all can get into a theological discussion about this, but I don't want to discuss it here. It's
It's
just,
like politics,
it's
and
like
religion.
politics and religion. It's just not, I'm never going to convince you, and you're never going to convince me on a chat on YouTube.
But can I
You
say,
know.
Boomer, I am very sorry. If you are an indigenous person, and you've got ancestors that have lived through things like that, I am very sorry.
Yeah,
As
I
a born
believe
again Christian,
America,
I am very sorry.
the America owes a lot to the Native Americans, American and I believe if anybody needs reparations, that the American Indians do, because like I said, if you go out to any reservation, it is it the poverty level is way, 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 it's way
It
down.
is a fascinating
It's terrible.
subject, Boomer, and as long as we can, do it on the sideline and discuss it privately, I don't mind having a discussion with someone. I don't get angry because it's not my point. It's not my. It's not my
Yeah, not
decision to beat
if
you
you
over
want
the
to
head with it.
email her and y'all share a messenger on YouTube or whatever, she'd be glad to do that. I just don't think we need to discuss religion in here. I just don't believe we do. That's not what this channel is about to discuss. We occasionally pray and we occasionally express what our beliefs are, but I don't believe it does anybody any good to bicker, or not really bicker, but debate how one religion over the other religion, or no matter what it is. So it'd be better to you to email her and y'all discuss it. Yeah, I know it's it's difficult for us not to express how we feel about God, because we live it in our lives every day.
Boomer's right.
But
He said, "I forgot."
but
Boomer said,
I'm
"I
not going to
forgot."
discuss. I don't think we need to get into a physiological discussion in our chat about it.
Did you read that? He says, "I." Boomer, I'm assuming is a female. I'm not sure. I forget even how we got into it. Ha ha.
Yeah. Some peace, your heart memory, carrying on the hatred forward. It's not a solution. I agree with that. Thank you, Skitty. And
that was Mystic.
my dad and parents are Cherokee natives. They had to sign a paper to say they own land. I have
stay on their own land.
I have all the paperwork they had to sign. Made me tear up what they were. Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you what. I just get. I get. I feel like we owe the Native American people so much more. And if it was up to me, I believe that they deserve, just a lot more. Not maybe even to be truly paid for the land that was stolen from them when the American settlers moved to the West. But you're not gonna have. I'm not the majority.
When you build them houses without electricity or plumbing, what have you given them?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. I have not seen a few people, the regulars tonight. I missed Julie tonight. My retired Sergeant Melinda's not here. I haven't seen MH in a while. We welcome any new people here. We would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell at the bottom, let you know when we're coming on. We normally are on Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Central Time. If something comes up, we will discuss it then. I could just pop on at any time. We also, if you would, if you want to know more about us personally and what we do with our life now and how we travel, we are full-time RVers. Currently, we live in an RV with our 2 dogs and our cat, and we travel around the United States. And we are currently in Michigan, in the north end of Michigan right now. If you go over to our channel, it is the number 1 million-mile road trip. It is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And subscribe to our channel. We would sure appreciate it. And we are on we put out a new video every Sunday at noon. And we will be doing some live videos, kind of unannounced or maybe even announced. I don't know. We haven't done any yet, other than earlier in the videos. We've probably got about 60 videos over on that channel of our getting ready to go full-time, talking about the last time we were full-time, and where we're going to go and what we're going to do. We're actually running a little bit behind on our videos. In other words, our videos that we're putting out now is stuff we did last week, but that's okay, because that way it kind of gives us some not having to be under the gun every week. But if you'll go to our Instagram page also under the same name, it pretty much is up to date. But we'd appreciate if you go over and subscribe to our channel. Art video, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. That was an amazing place. I don't care if you believe or not. It is amazing to think that someone could build that ark. Even now, it's amazing. The thing is huge. And the one thing we didn't put in the video that we said we were going to the next week, and we're going to have to correct it somewhere down the road, maybe in a live.
Can I say it?
Yes.
They are building the Tower of Babel next on the grounds of the
ark. I don't know
ark.
what exactly and how they will be there. It may be
it'll be just like the Tower of Babel in the Bible.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to do an elevator to the top or what.
They ain't going to make it all the way to heaven.
I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to do the Tower of Babel anyway.
We'll be in Wisconsin next for the whole next month.
And we're going to be traveling around inside Wisconsin, seeing a lot of stuff.
I'm going to Public Market to get some chocolate cheese.
Yeah, and we're mainly there to see our daughter, but we're going to visit some places we did last time, like the little German town that we were at last time. Had the creek running down behind the waterfall, right behind those businesses, and they were. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And it was
Wisconsin.
Cold.
In old Wisconsin.
Yeah, old Wisconsin. I don't know if I could do that though.
Yes.
My back the way it is though.
Oh, maybe you can. And you can get a bicycle.
Yeah, maybe so. And we got our electric bikes. We're going to do a lot of the trails down in that area. So anyway, we're gonna do that.
The building.
The
building of the Babel.
Sorry, we lost your father in April. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Mystic. The Tower of Babel is going to be in Kentucky, Williamstown, where the ark is. They're going to be building it on the site, the area where the ark is. And if you have not been to the ark, it is amazing. It really is.
Beach Bum's daughter's going in the Navy. Wow, that's awesome.
Aww.
That is awesome.
Well, tell her we missed her, and tell her daughter thank you for her service, and tell Beach Bum we thank her for her service, because when moms do, when families do it too.
Yeah, the families do it too. All right, well, we're going to let you go. We are, like I said.
Mystic likes chocolate cheese. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I like chocolate. And that'd be pretty much the only. Chocolate usually gives me a bad headache, but I don't think chocolate cheese would do it, and I may be able to do it.
Mystic.
So I'm in Canada.
And as soon as the doors are open, well, maybe not as soon as they open.
Yeah, we hope to go to Alaska next year. And in our journey, we hope to spend almost 25 days in Canada, because I want to visit Canada. Canada, listen, if, excuse me, that one show, Heartland, If you haven't watched it, it's a real nice show. It shows a lot of the beautiful country of Canada. And I've heard more people say that Canada is one of the most beautiful places that you'll ever see. So I definitely want to visit Canada for sure. Um,
Boomer said it kind of didn't. It kind of went badly. Um, it kind of went badly in the Bible. No, it went according to God's word.
yeah.
Maddie, hello.
Yeah, hello, Maddie. Sorry, just breaking news that we are in lockdown for another 2 weeks. I'm going to live vicariously through you on your other channel. Well, I appreciate that. While I'm sitting in the lounge, where exactly are you at? If they're in lockdown for the next Lynn, where are you at that they're put you in lockdown for the next 2 weeks?
Candalee said she lived in Nome, Alaska, one of the most beautiful places she ever lived.
Yeah, I wanted to. I tell you what I wanted to do. I wanted to go. Yeah, I want to visit Colorado also. I wanted to move to Alaska for a year and experience the cold weather and everything, but somebody chickened out.
It wasn't that I chickened
Um,
out. I love our children and want to see them more than once or twice a
yeah,
year.
Australia. I want to visit there too. I got a free place to stay there for sure. Um, Lynn, where are you at that you're in lockdown? You must be just coming into our country.
No, she's here.
Where they put you in lockdown? Uh, not saying.
It's over COVID, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but I mean, what city? I wonder where it's at. Maui says Australia, probably, maybe. Hmm. I've been
Okay,
trying to get.
Mystic is asking her, so maybe she'll.
Yeah, I have been trying to get the antibody check so that I'll know if I still have the antibodies in my system from having the COVID to start with, but can't find nobody to do it.
Australia's in lockdown.
Mm. Best to run away.
Well, I heard that
last-
Biden is sending people around door to door to give shots.
I'm not going to discuss that though. Okay. All right. I hope that everybody stays well, and I hope to see you on Thursday. And
Check out our other channel.
check out our other channel and subscribe if you haven't. You live, Lynn, you live an hour north of Sydney, Australia, while y'all are in lockdown. Well, I've got a buddy of mine that's a pastor.
Over there. No, that's South
No,
Africa.
I have a buddy of mine that's a pastor in Australia. He lives somewhere around there where you do. His name's Keith Edwards. He runs they plant churches all over your area, Australia, Indonesia, and all that. But he's over there right now. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to call him and check on him. Y'all have a great night. We love y'all and we miss y'all, and we hope you come back and on Thursday and go over and check out my other channel too.
Is it my channel too?
And Dina's channel.
Is it our channel?
Our channel.
He does all the work.
You're hitting my arm again, Dana.
I'm sorry. Oh. Sorry, my nails have fallen off in lockdown, and it takes me for to type on my phone.
Yeah, hey, for sure. All right, we'll see y'all later. We love y'all and hope to see you on Thursday. And y'all take care.